Good evening, folks. Today we have a new clan event that just came out in 0JP. It feels like we just had the Nova one just a few days ago. It is currently 11:30 p.m. here in Japan. It's actually technically the second day of the event already, but fortunately didn't really have the time to sit down with the event myself yesterday. It is currently Golden Week here in Japan, which is like a big holiday week where everyone is off, and so a lot of my friends that normally aren't available during weekdays are free, and therefore chose to spend some time with them. Good vibes, good times. But, getting back to normal things. Tomorrow is back to class and all these things. And I've also been really enjoying Shadowverse Evolved, which is another thing that I've been uploading on this channel. This is just becoming a TCG channel at this point, although mostly Busho TCG, let's be real. But anyway, life update. I think I was able to remove the fan noise from the mic recording, so you should be able to hear me better now without the fan noise in the back. I'm going to find out during editing if that's really the case or not, so we're going to find out soon. But let's take a look at the actual clan event and see what we have inside. I also now have a second monitor as well, so this way when I do the Tuesday streams and whatnot, it'll be easier to actually take a look at everything and confirm, or like have things in a nice layout, I suppose. So let's take a look at the cards as usual. So for those of you that don't know the boost skins, they're pretty straightforward. You basically have Shinonome as the first one, then we have Satoru, Hiroki, and Ryuzu after that, and of course they rotate between days 1 through 3, and then 5, 6, 7, and 8. So let's take a look at the actual cards and everything included at the same time. So as you can see, I already did my dailies yesterday, even though I couldn't actually make the video. So like I almost said Gear Chronicle. Megacolony got quite a lot of things in this set. It feels like there's quite a lot of like good cards just from looking at it, like in terms of especially like the strides. So the GR is the Dark Phase stride, which I believe came out in the second wave of Megacolony support in the TCG itself. So the Dark Phase says Dark Device, which is the keyword for Megacolony, which says as long as there are no standing units in the same column as this unit on your opponent's side, then you have the Dark Device state. This also works if your opponent has no units in that column as well. So either everything is resting or there's nothing in that column. So Dark Device, once per turn, can cost 1. So basically that column would be the Vanguard column in this sense. Can cost 1 and flip its unit face up. You choose your opponent's rearguards up to the same amount as the Dark Faces, the stride face up in your G zone. And for each selected rearguard for that turn, this unit gets plus 5k. And then, until the end of your opponent's next turn, all of the rearguards selected by this effect get the following ability. These units lose intercept and also cannot be targeted by your opponent's card effect as well as costs. So essentially, this means that you're able to just like make their board unable to intercept so you can swing face 3 times. And on top of that, you also give them a paralyze that they actually are bothered by, and they have to like overcall because they cannot retire them for cost, they cannot retire them by effect. So it's pretty cool. I guess you would be wanting to get 4 of this if you're really running for Megacolony, so I think I would recommend that if you're really a Megacolony main. If not, I guess 2 is fine, I guess, because you'll be able to just select 1 rear then on first stride, which is, you can't even do this on first stride because oh no, you can do this on first stride, it doesn't have GB2. So there you go, that's nice. Then we have the Stun Beetle, GB2 and attack its Vanguard combos 2 and G Persona Blast, and choose your opponent's Vanguard and paralyze it. So of course all the Vanguard paralyzes are combos 2, but G Persona Blast on a triple rare, I think this is the first time and I wish we had more of these. Definitely don't mean anything by that. Then we have the Paraspear. When placed on Vanguard Circle, rest all of your opponent's units, so including the Vanguard if it's standing for whatever reason. And if your opponent has 3 or more resting units, you draw 1 and gain 5k. It's not too bad, to be honest. Like if your opponent's trying to be annoying and like leave some stuff in the back standing just so they like dodge your Dark Devices, you can just go into this, rest everything, draw a card, and then like, still have the setup for your rear effect. Optirendus is now a triple rare. This was my biggest kind of interest in how they would actually deal with this effect, because in the TCG, this guy says like CB2, your opponent cannot call, period. Like just straight up cannot call. So it's just like a huge kind of like, sort of like gameplay stun in a way. So they did change it. It says GB2 when placed, cost 2 and discard 1. And then until the end of your opponent's next turn, your opponent cannot normal call on occupied circles. So it's not as good, but at the same time, if you paralyze everything, that's kind of like, that's basically the same thing, right? It does say normal call though, so you can like still superior call onto those paralyzed circles, I suppose. So I think this stride will still do some good work. Like you probably want to run it as like a 2 of. This guy, I guess like a 2 of because it's a G Persona Blast. and then this guy maybe like also 1, 2? It's hard to say because now the G-Zone is 12 cards in JP, so that's another thing where like you actually want to be running quite a few of these cards, and there's also stuff from the Fighters collection that we had earlier. Then we have the main V3 Darkface himself. GB2, I'm also interested in how they did this card because I haven't read it yet. GB2, at the end of your turn, Soul Blast 2, and then during your opponent's next turn, when your opponent would place a rearguard by normal calling, your opponent may pay Counterblast 2. If they don't, that rearguard is rested. Oh, it says the first time that your opponent would normal call a unit. So it's only for the first call, which means they can kind of bait it out, I suppose. We have this in Shadowverse with one amulet that says like the first time your opponent would play something and gets killed. So your opponent has to like commit something that they don't want to. But I feel like in the Vanguard 0, that's not going to be as effective because you can just like call down a dud and you don't really lose anything from it because then it's just like, yeah, okay, it gets rested, I'll just overcall it or move it to the back. So it doesn't like paralyze it or like force it to stay on that circle or anything, so it's not as good as I would have expected, but I guess if your opponent's low on resources, it can get kind of annoying. But you also have to Soul Blast 2 every time for this, so that might make it a little bit clunky, I think. Then when you stride, you can Counterblast 1 and choose 2 of your opponent's rearguards and paralyze them, and until the end of your opponent's next turn, they get the following ability. At the end of your turn, your opponent may draw 1. So the way this works is that you stride, paralyze 2, and then those rearguards on your opponent's side of the field say your opponent draws. Also, hello, my camera's like bugging up like crazy. Can I stop doing that? I think I'm pushing the upper limits of my laptop, and that's why this is happening. So that's kind of cool. It's kind of like the original effect, kind of like giving your opponent that extra draw, which I think is quite nice. So really good grade 3 boss unit. Honestly, I'm pretty surprised. We have the PG. This one is, of course, a regular PG, and then GB1 Dark Device on rearguard circle. When your unit's attack hits a Vanguard, you can Soul Blast 1 and bounce this unit back to your hand. So you can just boost with this and then get it back into your hand. That's actually pretty nice. We have a double rare stride too, so even more strides. That's actually quite nice. When attack hits a Vanguard, Soul Blast 1 and flip a unit face up, and then choose one of your opponent's units, and all of the units in that column are paralyzed. So this also doesn't need to choose a front row, so you can actually get over resist with this by choosing a back row, and it'll still target both, which is also pretty nice, honestly. I think you won't want to run this as like a 2 of as well. Damn, just the first wave and already so many good cards. I'm actually quite impressed. We have Girafa support. So it says when attack hits a Vanguard on Vanguard rearguard circle. If you have a Vanguard that's a grade 3 greater Girafa, Counterblast 1, choose one of your opponent's rearguards, paralyze it, and until the end of the next opponent's turn, it gets the following ability. Rearguard circle, when retired, you can choose one. Oh, you randomly retire one of your rearguards, prioritizing the back row. Interesting. That's like they're managing to incorporate a lot of these like disruption effects in a very cool manner. So actually, I'm quite a fan, honestly. Like all these supports are pretty nice. GB1 Dark Device, when placed on rear, if Vanguard's a grade 3 or greater Dark Face, for that turn gain 2k, and choose one of your opponent's rearguards and paralyze it, and then until the end of your opponent's next turn, that rearguard gets the following ability. At the end of your turn, your opponent draws 1. So it's like a mini Dark Face effect. I think this will be an important 4 of. So I think again, up to Rand, this is probably a 2 of. Dark Phase Grade 3 is a 4 of. PG is a 4 of. This is probably a 2 of. This, if you're playing Girafa, is a 4 of, I would say. This, if you're playing Dark Phase, is a 4 of. Then we have the Abyss Diver. Van Rear, when placed, Counterblast 1, Soul Blast 1, choose the opponent's rearguard, paralyze it, and then for that turn, it loses Intercept. This sounds like a 4 of to me. Losing Intercept is pretty good. Then we have the Barukan, so Vulcan Raferto. GB1 Dark Device, start of your main phase on rearguard circle, you can put it to Soul to countercharge 1. That's already very nice. And so it gives you Soul and countercharge, which is really nice. And then rear when placed, if Vanguard is a grade 3 graded Dark Face until the end of your opponent's next turn, it gets resist, and you can choose one other opponent's unit in the same column as this unit, and that unit loses Intercept. Damn, they're just throwing that out there, like, for free. Oh, that's a 4 of 2. That's another really good card. So somehow this, like, I was afraid that this Clan event would get nerfed like the Great Nature one, but they were not afraid. I like it. So we have the crit for Dark Face. Then we have the Superior Mantis. Dark Device when placed on banner rear, Counterblast 1, and then choose an opponent's rearguard in the same column as this unit, and it gets paralyzed. And Dark Device on rear, GB1 when placed, choose an opponent's rearguard and paralyze it. So you can basically pay CB1 and then like paralyze 2 essentially, which is pretty good for one card. Then we have the Early Antoinette. GB1 Dark Device on rear, when she attacks the Vanguard, Counterblast 1 for that battle. For each other opponent's rear in this column, she gets plus 3k. And then Vanguard Circle when plays Counterblast 1, Soul Blast 1, look at top 5 for a Dark Device effect card and add it to your hand. Probably not going to be run, but not too bad, honestly. She has a nice rear effect. Longhorn Hunter. Then rear, GB1 when placed, cost 1, choose opponent's rear guard, paralyze it, and for that turn, the unit loses intercept. All of these intercepts, not internet, losers, are pretty good, actually. Sweet Cocktail, GB1 on rear when she attacks the Vanguard while being boosted. Cost 1, choose opponent's rear guard and paralyze it, and then to the end of the next turn, it gets following ability. At the end of the turn, your opponent draws 1. So this one, as an Ember clone, this one, there's actually, it feels like there's a bit of merit in paralyzing the back row, so might actually have some potential too. We have another Garafa, grade 2 support. Once per turn, if your Vanguard is a Garafa, cost 1 and gain 2k, and then choose an opponent's rear guard and rest it. And in hand, if your Vanguard is the grade 2 Garafa, you can discard this to search your deck for the grade 3 Garafa, I believe, and ride it. Oh no, sorry, my bad. It is, if your Vanguard is the grade 0 Garafa, you can discard this to ride the grade 1 from your deck. Which is pretty good. That's also very nice, like a 4-up for Garafa if you're going to play it. We have the Earth Dreamer. GB1 at the end of your turn. If your opponent has 3 or more paralyzed units, then you can put this back to the deck to draw 2. Not bad. Honestly, I'm just impressed by majority of these cards. Everything's really, really good. GB1, put this to Soul, choose the opponent's rear guard, paralyze it, and then it loses intercept for that turn. Okay. Then we have GB1 Dark Device, put it to Soul, and then choose the opponent's rear guard, and then until the end of the next turn, it gains the following skill. This unit loses intercept and cannot be retired or chosen by your costs. And then you can rest this unit to choose the opponent's unit and rest it. That's interesting. Not sure how useful that one would actually be. We have the GB1. If one of its units are all resting, gain 3k, so 12k attacker. This one is a Dark Device 11k attacker. And then we have the 13k intercept during your opponent's turn. And finally, a 8k vanilla. And then the GB1, when it boosts, if your opponent's units are all resting, it's a 9k booster. So, still have some more. Dark Device when placed. For each of your opponent's units in the same column as this, each of your opponent's rear is in the same column as this unit, it gets plus 2k. So, some of the commons are skippable, but honestly, most of the cards are really, really good. So, I'm quite impressed with the quality of this clan event. Is Megacolony saved? Was the wait worth it? Is this what it was all about? You just wait for them to crack the clan? This is how it works now? So yeah, I'm quite impressed with what they've done, so let's go fight our boy Wakamizu and see the deck in action, because I've heard it's even pretty annoying to face off against the AI. Alright, so let's face off against Wakamizu. I think I'm gonna go with good old Blade Master for this one, because I don't have a boost skin for today. I do have Mr., our favorite Genesis main, Fenrir user, etc. But let's get into it and see the deck in action. Going second as well, which is pretty good. Definitely do like that. I'm curious to see how exactly Darkface performs, because it sounds kind of scary just reading the effects already. We could use some PGs and Stride Fodder, so I'm going to toss 2 Grade 2s back. I mean, we got a Stride Fodder, I guess, in a way. Alright, I think my audio for the game might be a little bit loud, so let me just reduce that a tiny bit. There we go, that might be a little bit better, or if not, then at least it's a bit better on my side. Alright, so we have way too many counter charges. We can go ahead and ride that, and then see if we get to see the Darkface animation as well. So yeah, I've managed to make the game work off of my iPad, to bring you guys the content like this. And from when I was looking at the stream that I was doing for the pack opening and everything, it looked pretty smooth. So if we can make it this smooth, then we can definitely work with this. Alright, my opponent's going freaking ham over here. Alright, we're gonna take the damage, go to 2, no defensives. Damn, looking at my new monitor and how 60 FPS the game is, it's quite appealing. It's quite nice. Alright, let's ride up into the new guy. This is the countercharger boy. Search out PG because we don't have any yet, which is a little bit alarming. And then we get Stride first, which is also pretty good with the new additions to the deck. I will commit this for now. I'm just gonna bash. Damn, no triggers. Been really dry so far. So we get to push, enter the Blaze state as well, so we get to countercharge from this, I believe. Oh no, countercharge is on GB1, isn't it? Yeah, the plus 2k is not GB1. That's not too bad, not too bad. Yeah, the countercharge is not is GB1, but the plus 2k is not. So that's kind of how it works. Alright, search is another Darkface. No paralyzes though, everything is locked to GB1, which is, I guess, nice. Dark Device is active there, you can see the little bug logo. Bug's Life 3 being recorded over here. Alright. Double blanks. I'm just curious about the skills. I'm slightly scared, but also curious, Alright, let's ride Blade Master. Good old Blade Master going in. and then go into another Blade Master. So it's quite fantastic. We have a lot of great ones in hand, so don't feel bad about ditching the Stride Fodder here. Bada boom, bada boom. There we go. Blade Master has been stridden. No grade 2s in hand, which is a little bit scary. We're gonna burn this with the effect. Alright. It's gonna take a while to get to the Blaze state, isn't it? Well, not really. If we just do this. If we just do this, it's fine. Alright, let's use this. And then pop the Intercept. There we go. And then we have some nice units. Alright, everyone gets a bunch of effects. So this says, when it becomes Blaze state. So, interesting. So once per turn, when, by your card's ability, your opponent's reader is retired, bangs a great 2 Blade Master, it says, when you go into the Blaze state, countercharge 1 and gain 4k. So, we're going to go into the Blaze state on every attack step, right? So it's like, boom, Blaze state, boom, Blaze state, and then once again, Blaze state. So, pretty reliable, right? Pretty reliable, pretty good, I like it. So we can push to 4 with just the rears, and then, of course, push to 5 with the Vanguard, which is pretty damn good. We get a heal too, which is always nice. Push that to the Vanguard here. Got a grade 2, and a draw. Not complaining about that. Not complaining about that. Alright, going in, pushing to 5, 1 card in hand. Can we see a strike come out? Or is this going to be a sad moment? Oh no! Yep, he did search a Dark Face. Stride Fodder is here. Looks cool. It genuinely looks cool. And the voice lines are kind of nice too. Ah, there's the skill. There's that annoying skill. We get a draw on defensive. That's pretty good. Alright, so I'm assuming that the Stride Fodder will swing into my rear. My good old grade 1 here. But don't really mind, because I have like a lot of burn on my next attack. Plus we have, oh yeah, no, attacks the Blade Master, not the Blade Master, the Overlord. Pretty good. I kind of want to build this. I kind of want to actually, like, get 4 GRs a little bit. Damn, I didn't expect bugs to be so cool. Every Kamen Rider fan ever. Yeah, let's ditch this for Stride. I'm just really surprised. Like, I'm genuinely surprised by how cool this is, and also how laggy my camera is. I really hope to get my freaking normal camera soon, because, goddamn, this is pain. Alright, let's count us 1 first to pop the Intercept. Boom, 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 there we go. And then 3 of them get their effects. Good for them. Good for them. And then Novell is gonna flip. Do the thing. Very good. Very nice. And then here, we're gonna call this down. It's gonna be a limit key attacker, so we might get to countercharge. Who knows? And this will get power as well because of the Blaze state. So I think we just go into battle here. Ching. Let's get some countercharges going. This is so strong. It's for no reason. Oh, good. Alright, boom. Swing. Alright, heal guard. Good for you. Boom, swing. +2. And also countercharge. Oh, no, has the PG. Alright. Pretty good. And then, of course, this will be GG. No 6 damage heals either. Damn. But I'm impressed by bugs. Just reading through all the effects, I'm like, damn. This is good. This is good. Like, I will be surprised if it wasn't good for whatever reason, right? Just like my camera right now is like going freaking sicko mode over here. Can it not? Can I not lag out every 2 seconds? Like, look at my mouth right now. Look at my... I'm being hacked into the mainframe, dude. I'm just going out of here. Alright, so that was the Megacolony clan event. Honestly, way better than expected. The cards look really, really strong. You get a lot of plussing. It's not even, like, doesn't have multi-attack, but the amount of, like, annoyance you cause to your opponent, plus the amount of plussing you do, seems kind of worth it. It seems like this is going to be pretty good. So my expectations and hype are pretty high for this. I think you guys should also be pretty excited for when it comes to global, because it looks to be a pretty good free-to-play clan if you have one of the boost skins. So yeah, definitely check it out. But with that, guys, thank you so much for watching. If you liked the video, please give it a like, and if you haven't already, please do subscribe. I apologize for the scuff, as usual, until I get my freaking camera charger and my tripod and everything. Can't really set up properly, and you can't see me in beautiful HD without the freaking weird camera lag, for the time being at least. So thank you very much for putting up with it for now. Anyway, guys, that'll be it for me today. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.